is a great center. Her whole love was to care for children. She didn't try to so just to get along, have enough to eat. She was careful, very careful. Yeah, there was a sister, Clara.
We'll start our formal ceremony in a little while. Just enjoy the graphics and visit our website, 5050now.wordpress.com.
after the tone. Press pound when finished.
Okay, we're recording yet, and recording is not the first priority, but we are doing another ceremony of our Eleucosaveral mysteries, which you can read about at 5050now.wordpress.com. Getting a beep in. I'll start this again. We're doing our broadcast again, and we're doing the ceremony, the Eleucosaveral ceremony, that you are all so important to know and to practice and enjoy. We are recording here again on the phone tree, so we'll coordinate this, and we'll go ahead and start our broadcast.
And then she said she couldn't be the maid for everybody. Just not there. That's when she came back and started to smell the head with the blood center. Her whole love was to have her children there. She didn't struggle so heavy just to get along, have enough to eat. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Carl.
Okay, we've already shown our marvelous, miraculous, virtuous place, and let's do our ceremony. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one as soon as possible. And we'll say again, the light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and every one as soon as possible. And we'll say namaste. Mikatuye oyasin mikatuyo koseveral. Kongs on pax. Ko am pax culture. Peace culture. Tubes sedlerik tubesk. Bahava l'chaim shalom. Salam. Salam shalom. Mir pache mir. Merci. Ciao. Buenos dias. Ubuntu. Schlanzvag. Das vidanya. Cinque. Chop chop. Sayonara. Cheerio and good day. Good day, cheerio. If I have forgotten any languages that you want to include, please include them. We should mean to include all the ones that are in our known family heritage, but there's many, many more. And we're all interconnected. It's all the language of humanity. And we'll say that's eternally young, longest, and prosper all, both in each and every one as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs, past, present, future. And we'll do it again this way. Let's say, let's love and live eternally young, longest, and prosper all, both in each and every one, now and always, past, present, future, as Equinox True Q's Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Saviorahs, arisen humanity of Atlantis risen. Atlantis and all holy lands become one and risen. And we'll drink the milk of human kindness on behalf of all, both and each and every one, representing all, both and each and every one as soon as possible, especially focusing on the 2 to 3 years on cue breastfeeding for every holy baby girl and holy baby boy of my family, your family, and all families, past, present, future, as Equinox QQs, Solar, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. And also, just importantly, the milk of human kindness flowing throughout all our lives, past, present, future, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. I drink on behalf of all, both and each and every one, and representing all, both and each and every one as soon as possible. And now and as soon as possible, because I am here and I am a part of you and you are a part of me, so I am representing you. You are very minimally but slightly covered here. But however, you need to come, participate, and cooperate, and co-broadcast, co-hostess and co-host. And here we have our liquids of Purim and Passover, of Vedic Soma, and of Entheons of Eleusinian Mysteries, the promise of 50-50, promise of promised land, promise of eternal life, Earthsz and INSZTEAD. We put them all together, we drink them all, but neither one is more important than the milk. The milk is the most important apotheosis, flowing liquid for human kindness, the milk of human kindness. So we'll drink on behalf of all, both and each and every one, representing all, both and each and every one as soon as possible, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. We drink now for all, as soon as possible, and now. And we'll drink the water of loving, living planets that we're claiming to sustain our planet Earth to be, and all our Earths, past, present, future, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. Solar, you can just see it on the cup there. And we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, future, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. It's very important that we know that we're turning back time. I hope we can really do it tomorrow. Turn back time and go back and include all of our spring months, but not only of this year, but all the way back to what we call the millennial year 2000, and actually all the way back several thousands of years. And we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, starting with all our Shekinahs, past, present, future, and all of our young Shekinahs and young Shekinahs around age 37, past, present, future, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. And that will open the stargates. When we really do this together, that will open the stargates. And we'll say this again this way. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days, past, present, future, as Equinox QQs, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior. We start with our spring and autumnal spring birthdays. They're reciprocal in the northern and southern hemisphere. Include also the solar on all years round. All will become equal. We want to emphasize the start of equinox because we are celebrating equality and EQ, but it's all years round, and it's always solar as well. So so we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days as Equinox QQs, solar, community gardening, gardening of evening, and Eleusinian fields, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior of Atlantis, and all our worlds risen. And we have with us, as you know by now, you're used to the sermon. Now I hope you can. The more you hear this, the more you'll be able to do it extemporaneously with anybody that you meet, and then you'll have it very easy. You'll have it in your memory banks, and you'll be able to spread it very quickly all around the world. So we have with us our Purim cookie. It's round. Instead of the triangular hat of a villain, we have the round circle of women anointing one another as Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Savior, Equinox QQs, as world leaders in every place. It's all one world, and we are all children of the same universe. And so we anoint one another, and we also have the Passover wafer to remind us that under patriarchy, people are rushed. They're rushing away. They're running away from tyranny. Tyranny is an aspect of patriarchy. One leads to the other. So it's just a matter of cumulative interactive time that produces these results. Egalitarian culture does not produce tyranny, it produces fairness, and it's sustainable. So we'll put these two holy days together, and then we'll show better than these flat cookies and wafers, we have the matzah, we have even better risen breads. Our risen round bread for our females, our risen oval bread for our males. We are the risen females and males of Equinox Q hood, past, present, and future. And there we have our symbols of a new repast that we can make as not a last supper, but a first breakfast, lunch, dinner, in any hour of the day we feel like it, and all the days. And here we also remind one another that wheat is not the only important grain. We also have here our oats, our rice, to remind us of the many cultures and heritages that Mother Nature has given all these marvelous, miraculous edibles all around this earth and all the earths that we will encounter and make our own also, and find that we are risen upon. And we have with us our eggs of egalitarian culture. We start with the 3 eggs of bonobos. Why 3? Well, the ancient Celtic Druidic wisdom is correct. You can make a circle with 3. Now, when one person gathers and invokes the circle, in a sense that makes a circle, I have like a lasso that I do around you. You know I make calls, and you know I'm making a circle of calls. So in a sense, you get a sense of circle. But you're not actually making the circle. You are passive in regards to that, making that circle. When Anna Marie and I get together, it's a little bit closer to a circle, because we also know, she and I always know, that the mother of the earth, Mother Earth, or the mother of the universe, whatever focus we want to give that, is with us. And so we're always 3 in that sense of the eternal feminine. But it isn't as socially sustainable as starting with 3. We do need a 3-way call, which has participants in it. And I'll be able to focus on this more with you the next day or 2 or 3, because I will have, I'll be so grateful to have these emails completed. And then we will be able to focus more on the process aspect of this. And that's most important, but the emails also are informative and are important too. So, so we have our 3 women, and we can add more and become 4, 5, 6, 7 to 11 women, anointing one another as co-secretary generals, co-severas, equinox Qs. Living goddesses, past, present, future. Goddesses of kindness, goddesses of democracy, of divinity within each person recognized. And especially starting with the need for women to recognize it in one another, because that's a very weak link among many, many women. I keep reading more and more that there's more women coming out of the woodwork like me who are saying, what's going on with women? That they're not talking to each other. What are all these splits and the divisions among the women? Why are the women so busy avoiding each other? What is going on with women? And I'm not the only person who's saying that now. There's a lot of people who are saying that now, and observing that there's been a splicing and dicing of women by media, and that women have to learn, relearn the skill of kindness toward one another and gathering. And when we do that, then after we've done that, we bring forth 2 young women and 2 young men, aged 37 and younger, optimally around. Doesn't have to be perfect. And we anoint them as the young goddesses and young gods of egalitarian culture in a pantheon that is divine democracy, and all are equal. And we can do this in every neighborhood on earth, every place that people live, and then every neighborhood can also have a commons area for family reunions, so extended family could gather there. So you have both your horizontal purehood and your vertical ancestral and horizontal purehood within your extended family of all your various surnames. And that interaction also makes a very great and strong, sustainable fabric of kindness in society. So that's what we're doing. And these are our eggs. And once you've done that, when women get together let's say there's two women to get together, they recognize they're always part of a larger circle. They treat each other with greater mutual respect and hearing and listening and so forth. Same with sister cousines and cousin brothers, females and males of any age. More respect, more mutuality, less domination, less submission, less enabling, less triangulating, less all the relational aggression that women do against each other, more honest relationships between women and men. And then we also have, as a subset of that, egalitarian marriage, very important for bringing families together and also for raising children. And that parenthood needs a circle, needs a village, needs an extended family, needs a neighborhood that's functional. And then we also have our two men or two males in an egalitarian culture. We have less of that rigid hierarchy, more give and take, and not the false divisions based on nationality, ethnicity, race, birth order, class, and a lot of other issues that make men miserable. And we have to give men happy lives too. And that this also enables them to talk more about their children together as men, and recognizing that the children are very important to them, and the women of their lives are very important to them, and they can talk about that with each other better. So we can include that, talk about their feelings better, and we can include that their health and stress level improves, the stress goes down, and this is very important for men. And so then when we've done this, we have our you and me and any individual always has the balance of love and the love and life within them in the light of balance, in the yin and yang balance. We all have it. Women have a little bit more of the yin, men have a little bit more of the yang, but each one has both. And the more we recognize that in ourselves and one another, that attend to that balance, the better the world gets and worlds get. Okay, and so we've done that, and now we have to do our consciousness currencies. Here is our Morellian, Adelian, Margilian, Silver Golden Kindian, Zalkindian, Feldmarian, Hertzian, Herzogian, Goldenbergian, Goldbergian, Newcomerian, Millerian, Sweet, Sagan, Lichterian, I have some other, and Mrs. Light, and of course we also include the Yanser-Slatian, or the singing crickets and sunflowers, all the various native names. We also include Lee Winfrey, and we're going to be including people of all heritages soon. But we're going to start with our heritages, which are intertwining a number, as well as Native American, as well as African American, because these are all survivors of Holocausts. And that's a very important aspect ethically to becoming risen. We have to remember that some people really were harmed terribly by patriarchy. Just about everyone all over the world really was, but in recent times, these groups are particularly important to recall in this part of the world. So we do that. And we also include, of course, all of our great and grandmothers and all their Shekinahs, especially remember here in the first consciousness currency. And the middle one is our current women who are adult women around age 37 and older. Very, very important as people who are stepping forward as goddesses and not thinking of themselves as just drones or underlings or something other than fully divine human beings. And here we have our younger people, our females and males, our young Shekinahs and young Shekinahs. Each one of these is in denominations of trillions and zillions. Each person is a universe unto themselves. When they share and come together, the entire universe works. It works. If they remain individual universes, eventually the entire universe falls apart. Because life for social beings like human beings requires cooperation, requires a circle making. So we have the circles depicted on the consciousness currencies, and all the elements of the Pneumonia Golden Rule. And I passed out hundreds of these, maybe thousands, in my local neighborhood. They go very, very well. People appreciate them. You can make them, just print them off the website. Your pictures are there. Just go ahead and do it. And so we say huge hugs, and we'll do our kisses. And now we have our larger family tree with the larger pictures of you. Now, there are some people who we don't have pictured quite well enough, but they pretty much give a good idea of the various branches of our family, our intertwined families. And we do especially thank His Sarah Harriet and Ray and His Sarah Harriet, for giving us the model of gathering women, an actual place that is in the heartland that we can go visit and create a plaque for, with beautiful gardens and solar fountains, and maybe a genealogical center there. There's so much that we can do, and we can do the same with all of your places and sacred places around this part of the world and all around the world. Connecting our family again as a trail of years, not a trail of tears, but a trail of years. And not even a trail, it's more like a journey. And so it's a time travel, is what it is. And so we can do that, and we especially want to mention all the names of the great and grandmothers. That's Sarah Harriet and Ray and Sarah Harriet. Equally important, Libertia and Estrella, Hannah, and Elizabeth and Ruth, and Myrtle, Rose, Pearl, and Marie, Precious Antoinette, Tris and Rose, Grandma Marie, Grandma Popper, Annette, Dorothy. Did I say Ray and Clara, and Sarah Harriet, Jacqueline? If I didn't, let me put those right in the very beginning too. We also want to include Hattie Mae and Bernita, and many, many more. We want to include many, many more names that you have to supply to us of your great and grandmother's names. I'm surprised, after I did such a lengthy outreach to you, and you knew I sent it to every genealogical center in the world about our great and grandmothers, I didn't hear a peep from most of you. And I'm really struck that it must be that a lot of the women of our family tree have very disturbed relationships with mothers and grandmothers, or just don't understand that they work very hard and deserve credit. But let's work on that. And we also have our current generations of women. We have Marion, we have Victoria, we have Marion, we have Julia Marie and I. We have Susan, Jennifer. We have. Let me back up. We have Jennifer. We have Alexandra, Rachel, Juliana, and Francesca. We have Susan, Sarah, Laura, and Jodine, and Beth Ann, remembered. We also have Bacha, Helene, Sherry, and Arlene, and also remembering the upper generations, Lee and Thelma. We also have obviously Anna Maria and Ma Patricia, and we have their sisters, Laura and Martha, Sophie, and Pauline, and we have Barbara, we have Jennifer. I think I forgot about Barbara this morning. Let me include Barbara, especially. Barbara is very, very important. Andrea, Cheryl, and Meredith. If I have forgotten them, excuse me. I sometimes forget a few names, but you're always included in my thoughts and in my prayers. And we also have Krishnanda and Alicia, and Oprah and Patricia, and many, many more of other heritages that we're going to bring in here. We also include Carrie and Mary, and Donna and Diana, and many, many more. And some of these women are more caught in patriarchy than others. Some will need a little bit more work to learn how to do bonoboing again, how to know how to be goddesses. It looks like most of you need a lot of work. You're paralyzed from gathering. we have to assist you to get out of the paralysis. It is absolutely necessary. And we have our younger generations equally important. We have Hadas, Rachel Marie, Daniel Viviette, Stacy Anastasia, Soma, Vanessa, Hillel, Shira, Natalie, Elisa, and Sandra, Rebecca, April, Edith, Angeline, and Rosa, and let's see, we have Beth, we have, I neglected to mention Robin and Judy and Edith and Esther in the upper generations. We have Beth, we have many, many more. There's many more, and we have Abby and we have Hesperus and Athena, we have Aquarius, and we have Abby and Sarah, and many, many more. And we also have our equally important young men, including Ben and John and Shannon, and Ben and Shannon and John, and we have Harlan Lewis Leviz with Yeshai and Ross, Jared, and Itani and Marcel in the circle, as well as with Andre and many, many more. Andre. And we have many, many more. And we'll eventually include people of all different heritages. You know, we have included Lee, who you've met, and in the upper generation, we included Raza and Sevilla, and we also have included Shu Yan, and there's many, many more. So we'll give you all big kisses. All right, and now my branches of family closest to my heart, because I know them the best, and they continue our grandmaternal and grandparental lines. Very important, and because they are important in their own right. And if you came, you would be showing your branches in a little bit more detail. Now, the fact that Julianne Marie is not coming, we keep showing her picture, and she's holding back the younger people from coming. And so is the neighbor Georgine there. That's a big problem. And so we also want to include Victoria in this picture. And I hold the hands up in Victoria Mariama. And also, in addition to Vanessa, we include Raquel, Julia, Lynn, and Sharon, as well as Harlan Liz with his other Shekinah is very important nearby, especially as Stacy Anastasia, right nearby. And there's others in the local area, also in community, Margaret and Harriet, and many others who have important name overlaps with our family. And of course, Julianne Marie and I with our great-grandmothers here, and all of the family implied. So, but however, we're wondering, Barbara, Meredith, Marion, what are you doing? You want a big black hole where you are? You may wind up with one. If you can't celebrate your past generations, a winner, you not only are not going to open the stargates, you may have a big sinkhole open up right by your house. Goddess God is not happy with humanity that does not recognize its eternal feminine. So wake up, and we'll give you all kisses here on my branch. Now, let me say something very honestly. With you not coming, I go through daily frightful fears about what's going to happen to you. When you don't come, you endanger one another. You're endangering each other, and you're so precious in your abilities and your genealogical heritage. The world truly needs your cooperation together, and you haven't been doing it. Oh, I also neglected to mention Nisa and Lynn and Ione. That's another very important branch. It's Sarah with Judy, and Ilza with Esther. I neglected to mention those, and I've probably forgotten a number of other names that we're including this on the larger family tree again. And so let's give our larger family tree kisses again. right, and then we also want to say, we'll hold up our bowl, the clear bowl, especially remembering Clara and the word clarity. We want to celebrate all of one another as a rainbow, a fresh rainbow of color inside us, of gem-like abilities. And so we'll pick Parity Paradice, and we'll say no to planicidal patriarchy. We'll pick Parity Paradice, past, present, future, as Equinox Trucuse, Co-Secretary General, Co-Secretary. We'll of solar, community gardening evening, Elysian fields, marvelous, miraculous, fruitful orchards, beautiful flowers, seeds, constantly thanking Mother Nature, knowing that we are part of nature. And we'll celebrate ourselves and all of our egalitarian ways as Equinox Trucuse, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretary, past, present, future. We'll start fresh. And having said that, we'll do our usual supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And I've explained why we say that phrase. First of all, it's fun. And second of all, and being a goddess and a young god, is fun. A young goddess and a young god is fun. But lots of fun. When you're on the Q continuum, it's all fun. It's all play. You're learning constantly, but it's like playful because there's very little stress. And so we say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And X is reminding us that we all have the X chromosome. Eternal feminine needs to become more noticed in our culture. So here we have our light and our heart light and our marvelous miraculous flowers, and we'll say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings, all the heritages of our earth and our earth's past, present, future, as Equinox Trucuse, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretary. And we'll say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious again, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth's past, present, future, as Equinox Trucuse, Co-Secretary Generals, Co-Secretary. And by the way, I say this on behalf, they were in and out today, they haven't come in at this moment, but Donia Aurora Felice and Maria Rainbow Sweetheart, and Donia Aurora Felice, say hi and hugs from Heather and Jam and Heather. And on behalf of Whiskers of Tiger and Holly, Tiger, Whiskers and Buttermilk and Blackie and Buttermilk, Felicity and Felix, and all the flora and fauna, furry friends of the big, and the furry friends and pet, and including the big white dogs, female and male, very gentle, and all the people too of our local, global, universal neighborhoods. And all, I think I forgot to mention the names of the older men when I was holding up the pictures. Let me do that. They're also waiting to come through the stargates, and you are holding them back. You're not letting them have risen youth either by what you're doing in showing such disrespect for the importance of the women's gathering. That is causing a huge logjam that I'm warning you, you could have a Mount Thera-like eruption. Boom! End of North America. That's what happened on the Isle of Crete. It had huge consequences for the entire planet. That could happen. You're not paying enough attention to how important women are and how important they are to next generations. As gatherers, nurturers, and decision makers, you have not been paying attention for 3 years now. I didn't pay attention for most of my life because I assumed everybody else was. Boy, was I wrong, or girl, was I wrong. I didn't know sexism was so entrenched. I wasn't sexist. I didn't see it clearly because I was in environments where there wasn't that much sexism. I was in advanced classes at schools. I went to graduate school. There wasn't a lot of sexism. There wasn't real obvious. There were not enough women professors, I will say that. But there wasn't obvious discrimination against women. That didn't start in my life until after I got out of school. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks in every which way. And that's the way it is for most people in our culture. And that's why a lot of people don't realize it when they are in grammar school and elementary school and high school and even college. Because in that moment, it seems very idyllic and there's a relative equality of the genders. But when you get back into the work world because of the gross domestic product, not counting what women actually do, it breaks the whole thing into nonsense. It turns life upside down, and the only people who function well in so-called marriages are people who are not actually living up to their potential, ethically or in any other way. The more intelligent people have trouble in a patriarchal society. Their marriages are more likely to suffer in a patriarchal society than people who are stupider. And that's the truth. So we have to make the change, or we're never going to come into the 21st century fully, and we will become extinct right now. We have to make that decision. You have to make the decision. I hope you want to continue your species. You're the beautiful, marvelous, miraculous species, humanity, and on this and all our planets. If not, we'll all go into the Akashic record and probably be started off somewhere else based on what we did here. Based on what we did here. So I love you. Give yourself good karma. Become risen now. Have all the blessings, none of the curses, not the extinction. How about it? Good plan? I think you're ready. You'll get some emails from me tomorrow. Maybe they'll help you get yourself off of your paralysis. But really, I want to say, your paralysis has been unethical. It has indicated that you have a profound problem. Your children have seen it. I hope your children recognize that they have to separate themselves a little bit emotionally from the worldview of their mothers, as well as the older men of their families. Because in this culture, you've been mind programmed for extinction. Okay, and we have to make sure our young people don't follow suit for two older generations that don't know what they're doing yet. But you can, because you have the New Millennial Golden Rule, the Kitty's Kits, and the 11 steps. You got what you need. You've had it for a long time. Just use it. Share it, come co-broadcast, and we'll make marvelous, miraculous miracles. Okay, that's our ceremony. We'll go ahead and send this message and make a little bit of outreach calls. And you know I'm going to be completing my preparations on all those emails. But I want to emphasize again, just because I'm trying to make it easier for you does not justify your paralysis and doing nothing. You have a codependent attitude toward me, and I think it's resentful also, because I know from enough of the literature reading, even though you've been very quiet about it, that women who have low self-esteem envy one another, and they particularly envy women who don't have low self-esteem. And they often play games of ignoring and ostracism toward those women. That doesn't serve anyone. The things, as the Marianne Williamson poem says, William's daughter, let's call her, the thing that scares you is not that you don't have light. The thing that scares you is how much light you do have within you, and that you haven't been sharing, and you're not expected to share. That's why it's scary. You've been put down so long, you don't know what up is. Pick up. Wake up. And let's have marvelous, miraculous blessings. I'll go ahead and send this message.
To save this message, press 1. Your greeting has been saved. To change extension type, press 8.
Bear with us. We're just going to bring our music up and we'll be playing that for you in just a few moments.